expected to be in the 60s tomorrow, but we are going to be closer to 70 for those Memorial Day plans. Still below average, as our normal high is now around 76 to 77 degrees. Beautiful sunshine, though. Hope you're soaking up the sun. That Marblehead Lighthouse camera showing you pristine blue skies with some fair weather clouds, and satellite and radar quiet across Michigan and Ohio, and expected to stay that way. Temperatures are in the mid-60s right now. I'll show you when we warm up and preview a milder start to the month of June. That's coming up in your full 10-day forecast. Michael?
All right, John, we'll see you then. We start with the latest details in a fatal crash in Providence Township. It happened near South River Road early this morning. Highway Patrol says an 18-year-old driving a motorbike in the northbound lane of Henry Lucas County Road collided with the 18-year-old driver of a different motorbike traveling in the same lane in the wrong direction, causing them to crash head-on. They both died at the scene. Officials say neither vehicle was supposed to be on the road and neither driver was wearing a helmet. Alcohol is believed to be a factor. We're also learning that both 18-year-olds just graduated from Otsego High School this past Thursday. Counselors will be available to staff students in each school building on Tuesday. Our Laura Sandlin will have more on this story tonight at 11. And we continue to learn more about Anthony Emmanuel Labrador Sierra. He's the 24-year-old man authorities say used fake documents to pose as a 17-year-old at Perrysburg High School. Labrador Sierra is now facing a federal charge of illegal possession of a firearm. According to the federal complaint, his foster family found a prepaid phone, a driver's license, and a gun with ammunition under his bed. It also says Labrador Sierra bought the gun in 2022 using a fake ID and lied on documents to buy the weapon, and he could be facing decades in prison. He is due in court next week. We also received a new statement from Representative Haraz Ganbari about this ongoing investigation. He went on to say, in part, given that Mr. Labrador Sierra disclosed his status as homeless, on what basis did the school district require the production of a birth certificate as a condition of enrollment? Potentially in conflict with protections afforded under the McKinney-Vento Homeless Assistance Act. He also went on to say, had law enforcement been notified in November of 2023 about the situation, Ganbari stated the Perrysburg Police Division would have had the opportunity to initiate an investigation into the human trafficking allegation. You can read his full statement right now at WTOL.com. The debate as to whether a local judge should lose his law license won't be settled until at least next Friday. The Ohio Disciplinary Council met this week to consider suspending Judge John Ick's law license. He's been accused of fostering a hostile, sexually inappropriate work environment in the Sandusky County Court. If his license is suspended, Ickes wouldn't be allowed to serve as a judge for the period of any suspension. This next hearing resumes on Friday. Well, you might not have heard of it, but there's a piece of legislation that just got passed in the Ohio House known as Keith's Law. Supporters say it could save the lives of people with special health needs who interact with first responders.
As the young man got to his feet, as he gained his balance, but the body camera footage showed him take a lunging step toward the officers. And in response, the young man was struck with what news media reports to be 9 bullets and a less than lethal beanbag shotgun round fired from the weapon of the 4 officers that were on that scene. Afterward, the officers performed first aid on the young man until EMS arrived and transported him to the hospital. And in an attempt to save the young man's life, doctors had to remove his leg. But days later, after no brain activity was detected, he was removed from life support and ultimately succumbed to his injuries.
The pitch is to create a voluntary database. The idea is that someone with a disability or their family member would call police and tell officials about that disability, so if police responded to the residents, they're aware of a potential cause for a crisis. House Bill 144 just passed in the State House. It'll need to pass the Senate before heading to the governor's desk. The spotlight tonight on a near miss for an Ohio Department of Transportation worker. On this Memorial Day weekend, it's an important reminder to not drive distracted. Back in April, Andy Shively was working as a construction zone worker in Hancock County when he noticed a car veering directly toward him. He threw himself onto an ODOT truck, but the side mirror of the distracted driver grazed against Shively's back. He says it was a matter of inches.
Yeah, we were setting the message board, so we were 2 miles from the zone. And we had just set it, and I was the driver, so coming around the truck, I looked before, I seen a car back a ways. I said, oh, I got time to get to the door. When I got to the door, I turned around and looked again, and that car was right on me. I seen it on the white line already, and I knew I didn't have time for the door, so I just dove up against the side of the truck, and I heard him hit the cone, and I was looking away, I was looking forward, and then afterwards, I did realize that I felt the mirror go across my back.
Shively said he stayed level-headed about the situation, eventually going back to work. The driver who almost hit him was cited. The city of Toledo held its Memorial Day ceremony today. Attendees gathered at the All Wars Memorial at the Civic Center Mall downtown. Local veterans and city leaders gathered to honor those who lost their lives serving our country. Many of them participated in a wreath-laying ceremony to remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice.
Because of those who have gone to war, we know the terrible costs of war, not only in the deaths of those we served with, but in scars that often take a lifetime to heal, if they heal at all.
Springfield High School's junior ROTC also performed a drill in honor of the fallen soldiers. John?
Well, a gradual warm up ahead. Temperatures close to 70 degrees from Memorial Day when it finally starts to feel like summer. In my 10-day forecast next. Welcome back in. Dry conditions expected for the remainder of the holiday weekend, gradually turning milder. Temperatures will be in the 60s, but we could make a run for 70 on Monday. A beautiful look high atop downtown. That Elk and Elk downtown camera showing you a few of those fair weather cumulus clouds that will be dissipating around sunset time. Doppler radar is quiet. We do see on satellite imagery there is a little bit of that cloud cover, but no green to be seen, and that means dry conditions expected with current temperatures in the middle 60s. Keep that light jacket handy because we are still going to be in the 60s for your Sunday. Winds are going to be fairly light at 5 to 10 coming in out of the north. On Monday, we are going to be closer to the 70-degree mark. If you are planning that cookout or barbecue, temperatures at noon only at 61, and for dinner time right around 67 degrees with some of those fair weather clouds. Monday is going to be closer to 70 degrees, especially west of Toledo, where it is going to be warmer and more sunshine is ahead. Our next chance for rain showers, that'll roll in Tuesday and Wednesday, but it is looking fairly light for both of those days. So let's jump into the hour-by-hour forecast. Most model data does show a little more cloud cover tomorrow. I do expect dry conditions. Now, you will notice a little bit of green on there, although the air is going to be so dry there isn't expected to be any sort of rainfall. Monday is going to be brilliant and sunny with an increase in upper-level cloud cover late in the day. And here's that rain chance. Low pressure moving through the Ohio River Valley. Overall, the best rain chances well south of our area, but I did keep in a 30% rain chance Tuesday and Wednesday as that system moves into the Buckeye State, delivering some light shower chances. The extended forecast does feature a 30% chance Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Not a washout, but periodic rain showers. And finally, by the start of June, a big warm up on the horizon, sunshine and 80-degree temperatures with a big warm up ahead.
All right, when we return, we're live at the Huntington, getting ready for Game 5 of the Kelly Cup Western Conference Finals. We're here from the Walleye ahead of the game. That's coming up next in sports. Sports brought to you by Jim White Honda. Welcome back. We're live from the Huntington Center, getting ready for Game 5 of the Kelly Cup Western Conference Finals between the Walleye and the Kansas City Mavericks. The Walleye have a chance to clinch the series tonight, and if they clinch, they would get revenge for last year's series in which the Walleye lost to Kansas City. They would also be back in the Kelly Cup Finals for the first time since 2022. We heard from the team after their Game 4 win Thursday night. Someone we haven't heard a lot from, though, is league MVP Brandon Hawkins. Hasn't scored in about 11 straight games now, but has had a huge impact with assists. Head coach Pat Mickish said it's just a matter of time before he gets his moment.
We know he's going to score a huge one when we need it, so it's just great to see him getting those opportunities and not being impatient himself. He's still distributing the puck extremely well, and he's the leader of this group.
Shifting to softball now, district finals happening today. Springfield and Central Catholic battling for the D3 district title. Blue Devils getting to work early. Kenya Crowley connects here, sends it to deep left center, and she'll bring home a runner for the RBI double. That puts Springfield on the board first. Later in the third, Central's Addison Brinkman lays down the bunt, be thrown out at first, but good enough to bring home a runner, and that gets the Irish on the board. but Springfield keeping their lead. Hannah Schlachter with a fly ball to deep left brings home their 4th run. Finally, later that inning, pitcher Callie Chapetta hits a line drive down the first base line and bring home another run. She had 5 strikeouts from the circle, and the Blue Devils go on to win the district title 6-4.
Our senior leadership, we start 7 of them out there. 4 of them played in the state championship game as freshmen. They know what's at stake, and they got us going, and they also contributed in that big 5th inning that we needed those 3 runs.
The coaches always say, do you want to come to the next? Do you want to practice tomorrow? I feel like just knowing that for us, we have 8 seniors, so knowing that for us, if we don't win, that's it, helps us really just stay locked in during the game. And just as a team, I feel like we know that we need to keep playing and play our best, and it doesn't have to be pretty, but we just have to win it.
Go Blue Devils!
And finally, a MAC baseball update for you. The Toledo Rockets won their consolation game earlier this morning, and so they will play later today for a spot in the MAC championship. Hope to have an update for you at News at 11. But for now, that's all for sports. We'll be right back.
Welcome back in. Today kicked off the Toledo Farmers Market's 36th annual Flower Day weekend. It's one of the largest flower and garden events in Northwest Ohio. All weekend, you can browse through flowers grown by dozens of the 419's Green Thumbs. There's also food trucks and other artisan goods that you can check out too. Flower Day weekend continues tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Toledo Farmers Market downtown. But John, is it going to be ideal weather for going to the farmers market?
Well, those gardens definitely have gotten a lot of rain this week, so that should hopefully help those flowers really be nice and bloom. I'm definitely not one of those green thumbs, but can appreciate those flowers, and hopefully the sunshine helps as well for those gardens. Memorial Day weekend, the rest of the weekend is going to be dry with temperatures close to 70 by Monday. Some additional light rain showers Tuesday, Wednesday into Thursday, and finally feeling like summer by next weekend with 80-degree temperatures possible.
You know, John, I already threw away all my t-shirts. I don't know if I can dress for the weather anymore.
I know. I don't even know where my jacket is.
All right, everybody. We'll see you again at 11. Take care.